Solipsism. The universe is all in your head. If we imagine that everything, like your friends, your family, the phone you're watching this on, is just a projection of your mind, we get a pretty good general idea of Solipsism, which more specifically is the idea that only you exist. Descartes said that, but smarter, with his cogito ergo sum, I think therefore I am. Solipsism is true. The entire universe disappears the moment you stop perceiving it. It sounds a little schizo, but if you think about it, it's more than plausible. Like you could just be a brain floating in space, and your life is just a little movie it plays. Object-oriented ontology. Objects have their own reality. Most philosophies put humans at the center of reality, like we're the most important things ever, but argues that objects exist independently of human thought. A chair doesn't exist just because we see it. It has its own reality beyond our perception. It's like, if a tree falls and no one is there to hear it, does it even make a sound? Would say, yes the fuck it does. Graham Herman, a leading thinker, argues that objects interact with each other in ways we can't fully grasp. The idea challenges like centuries of thoughts that made humans the focal point of existence. Accelerationism, speeding up society's collapse. What if the fastest way to change a broken system is to push it to its breaking point? Acceleration argues that capitalism, technology, social structures, the Industrial Revolution and its consequences should be intensified so they reach a tipping point, forcing radical transformation. Some might see this as a way to trigger new systems, while others, like Nick Land, a British philosopher and one of the most influential figures in accelerationism, embrace the chaos of acceleration. Whether viewed as a path to collapse or evolution, it's a philosophy that doesn't resist change. It merely speeds it up. Anti-natalism. Life is suffering, so don't have kids. Is bringing a child into the world an act of cruelty? I think most people at some point have said, I didn't ask to be born, and anti-natalists took that and ran with it. This philosophy basically argues that existence is filled with suffering, also Schopenhauer saw life as a cycle of endless struggle, while David Benatar argues that non-existence is preferable since it avoids pain. Some anti-natalists even believe human extinction would be morally good, since, well, we're humans. Accidentalism. Everything is just random chance. Does the universe have a plan? Accidentalism says no. It argues that from the Big Bang to human civilization to you watching this video and liking and subscribing happened by pure chance. Well, maybe not the last part. So Epicurus believed that the universe was just atoms colliding randomly in the 4th century BC, by the way, while Jacques Monod argued that even life itself was a cosmic accident. There's no divine plan, no fate, just randomness. Panpsychism. Everything has consciousness. What if consciousness isn't just for humans and animals? Panpsychism says that everything, rocks, atoms, the universe, has some form of awareness. But it doesn't mean that a rock thinks about its existence like you do, nerd. Instead, it's more like that consciousness exists on a fundamental level, like a basic property of reality, just as mass, gravity, or taxes. Spinoza, the 17th century philosopher, supported this when he argued that everything in the universe has both a physical and a mental aspect. And some of you might ask, wait, isn't this just object-oriented ontology? And no, it's different, because Panpsychism says that everything has some form of consciousness. Well, on the other hand, argues that objects exist independently of human perception. It doesn't claim that they have awareness. Epiphenomenalism, your mind is just a side effect. Do you think your mind controls your body? Epiphenomenalism says no. Instead, consciousness is just a byproduct of physical brain activity, like steam rising from a kettle or smoke from a fire. It's there, but it doesn't influence what's happening underneath. Your thoughts don't cause your actions, they just accompany brain processes that were already set in motion. A recent study by the University of New South Wales found that our brains initiate decisions before we are consciously aware of making them, which further supports epiphenomenalism. Have fun sleeping at night with that info. Logical positivism. If it can be proven, it's meaningless. Logical positivists believe that if a statement cannot be scientifically tested or observed, it's useless. A.J. Ayer, a British philosopher who popularized logical positivism in his book Language, Truth and Logic, argued that most religious, ethical and metaphysical claims, such as God exists or murder is wrong, were nonsense, since they couldn't be scientifically verified. So, logical positivism forces philosophy to focus on logic and science, rather than, the shit it usually focuses on. Hyperstition, fiction that becomes reality. What if ideas could shape reality? Hyperstition suggests that certain ideas, myths, and fictions can manifest into reality, explores how ideas, especially in technology, capitalism, and artificial intelligence, can self-fulfill and actually shape reality. Cosmic indifferentism. The universe doesn't care about you. If you ever feel like the universe is ignoring you, the right, cosmic indifferentism, argues that the universe is completely indifferent to human existence. Unlike existentialism, which says we must create our own meaning, this philosophy suggests that meaning itself is irrelevant and it kind of doesn't exist. H.P. Lovecraft, a writer born in 1890, shows this in his horror stories, which introduced cosmic horror, where humans are insignificant in the face of vast, uncaring cosmic forces. His creations, like the Cthulhu, don't hate us, they are simply too immense to notice us.